Like most of her colleagues, State Representative Patty Bentley knows passing a balanced budget will be priority number one. But she's hopeful that this year, that budget will include money to give educators an extra boost in morale and in their wallets. I sat down with the representative to talk about her agenda for the upcoming session. So what's on your agenda this year?
Well, what's on my agenda, as well as everyone, is just working to pass the state's budget.
Right.
And prayerfully, we will have money in that budget to address the issue of education across the state, particularly with pay increases for educators. And because that is certainly a big issue across the state of Georgia. I'm hearing constituents all the time talk about the furlough days and the mere fact that they have not received a pay increase, not only for teachers but all state employees, Department of Corrections, Transportation, all state employees. So I'm really hoping that we're going to be working on that and addressing that early on in this session.
Now, a majority of your district is rural, so there's a lot of issues that need to be addressed in that area as well. Speaking from what you've heard from your constituents, where's your focus going to lie for them?
My focus is going to lie on economic development, working to try to help the local governments, local development authorities, all of us working together to make our district more attractive for potential businesses and prospects to bring jobs to that area.
And in terms of specific bills, do you have any that you're set to file yet or plans to file and work through the session this year?
I do. My husband and I are in the mortuary business, and I've had some concerns brought to my attention from funeral directors across the state. So there is some legislation that I am considering that will address concerns for funeral homes across the state of Georgia.
Healthcare, that's another big issue.
Yes,
the Medicaid expansion was not approved by the governor. So how will you work in the House to kind of make up for that shortfall? It's something a lot of your colleagues have been discussing.
Yes. Well, we are planning to work with our colleagues across the aisle to help them to understand the importance of expanding Medicaid across the state of Georgia, because I hear it often from my constituents in my district. Some of them who don't have health insurance, they really need some type of coverage. So whatever we can do to address that issue and also not put a major financial burden on the state of Georgia in the means as well.
In terms of the most important thing that has to be passed, aside from the budget, because we know that this is mandatory, Georgia has to pass a balanced budget.
We do.
What is a top priority at the State House this year for you, or in general as a whole?
Education, economic development, because they all tie in together. You cannot have a conversation about economic development and not address education. Workforce development, all of that ties in together. So that is a very important issue. That's a very hot topic for me and a major concern. So I am committed to working with my colleagues in the House of Representatives to address those issues, to bring some assistance to the citizens of this state.
One last issue question for you. Last year we saw gun control gain some momentum in the session, especially in the wake of Sandy Hook.
Yes.
How do we feel that discussion is going to go this year? Is it going to be a hot topic again?
I believe we will have some discussion regarding especially the gun carry bill, which was authored by Representative Paul Battle. So I am anticipating that piece of legislation to come back up again, because it did come up last year and we never had a chance to actually vote on it. So I am expecting that to come in, and maybe some changes to the bill as well.
She hasn't heard of any challengers yet, but that won't change Bentley's mind. She is definitely running for re-election. And remember, the 2014 session of the Georgia General Assembly starts Monday. Tune into the news right here on 41 NBC at 6 and 11 and at 10 on our sister station, My 41.2, for a full recap of the day.